Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside. Welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 11th day of January. It's a Wednesday. We're in 2018. In case anybody just wanted to forget the year entirely. Sometimes it feels like that, doesn't it? So I read something about that soccer coach over in Thailand. Apparently, the boys decided to take this trek on their own into this cave, and when they were missing and the parents reported them missing, the soccer coach went and looking for them. And that's how he got caught in there. But bless his heart, look what he did. He protected those boys all this time that they were in there. And now they're all out and reunited, and I guess everyone's doing well. So some excitement, but so that's pretty cool anyway. A nice heartwarming story amidst all the other chaos that we're witnessing around the world and in our own country. I don't know. So the electrician was just here putting in the breaker, the new breaker for my heat pump. Now I can call the inspector and have him come out and look at it, which I will do today. And then we'll be over that episode other than paying for it. So that's always the not fun part of it. But at least I have a new heat pump and I have air conditioning and heat that I can rely on instead of, you know, a 21-year-old unit that doesn't seem to want to work anymore. That's not fun. It's going to be 100 on Thursday, tomorrow. So we'll be running it that day. So let's count 13 and see what the cards have to say. Oh my goodness, the 10 of Wands. Now, I'm a martial artist. I used to teach karate. And those are staffs. Those aren't wands. Okay. I'll show you a wand. Whoops. To drop things. This is a wand. Okay. This is one of them. I have a whole bunch of wands. I make them myself. But they're considerably shorter than this. You know, technically they go the length of your arm. I don't know. Anyway, he's carrying a lot of burden there. He's struggling. He's not really looking where he's going, is he? He's letting his burdens lead his way instead of his own vision. Being the 10, numerologically, it's a 1 or new beginnings. But you know, he's not getting a very good start at things if he's not even looking where he's going. I mean, it looks like he's headed toward town or toward his home or something. Let me get the magnifying glass and get a better look at this. Yeah, it looks like, well, if that's his house, then, you know, this may represent some wealth. But if it's not, if it's the town, he's heading toward that. There seems to be an interesting boundary, though. There's a double line. And it seems like he has to cross that in order to get into, you know, the town or his home, whichever this is. I don't see any other buildings, so it's probably his home. But here, you know, we've just got too many burdens, you know, and we can't really, they're all in front of us, but they're leading our focus. And instead of being able to look at the bigger picture and seeing what you actually have, and maybe this is since it's a 10, you know, maybe he is trying to find some kind of new beginning on how to look at things. Obviously, he doesn't know how to prioritize. He's got way too many commitments. He's overwhelmed. I mean, On the other hand, though, at least he's got something going. So you can look at this in different ways. Um, but the issue here mostly is how we let the problems in our lives sort of control us instead of us taking charge of them. So that's really what this is about today. So if we're kind of, having those issues in our lives, maybe we need to just kind of set things down, put things down, and stop thinking about the problems in your life. And my husband has this weird thing that he does. If he can't figure something out, he'll just either go take a nap, or he'll just go to bed at night and sleep on it, and literally sleep on it, and he'll wake up with the answer in the morning. So I never really worry too much if he's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. And because I know by the next day he's going to know if he doesn't, figure it out on the way in. But yeah, I mean, this really is about limited vision, isn't it? See what we're doing or where we're going. And we certainly can't solve them, can we, when it's like that? So that would be, I think, the obvious. Oh, there's the Rune bag. This is my work area, so sometimes I have things thrown about. It used to make my mother crazy because I was happy to live in squalor, and she was the eternal white glove lady. I swear to you, this woman's car was so clean inside that we had this friend who had a toddler. I mean, I think he might have been, he was probably 2. So yeah, he was still a toddler. And they had some candy, little Good and Plenty's, a little box of Good and Plenty's, and he dropped one. She was in the front seat of my mom's car. And that was back when you didn't have child safety seats back then. And so the kid, unfortunately, was on mom's lap, right, eating the candy. And he drops one on the floor. And oh my God, the kid goes to grab for it, and mama grabs the hand away, is like, no, 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 no. And my mom started laughing because, you could eat off that floor. It was so clean. So, but there I was, not a clean freak at all. And you can kind of tell by looking at things. I'm not the most, everything has its place. Unfortunately, there's just an awful lot of it, and it's everywhere. So, but I usually know where things are. So we have Sawillo. Let's get that right. There we go. Yeah, like that. It's like a lightning bolt. Some Rune scripts use it this way, but the Elder Futhark, it's this way. I don't really like it that way. I like that way. This is energy and vitality, and it's certainly also illumination. It's the sun is its ruler, basically. And so when we think of that, we think of illumination and lighting our way. And obviously he needs some of that because he's not seeing where he's going. But Sawillo is a really great rune. It's I got to see what number it is. It's number 16, so that reduces to 7. And 7 is a great one for Wednesday because it's kind of like, I've talked about this before, where you've got 3 and 3 and 1. So it's like the scales. So 7 is the ultimate number of balance. And basically Wednesday is not just hump day, but it's like the resting point in the week. And so in a sense, Wednesday sort of represents that, doesn't it? That's the other thing I like about 7, is that it's actually a resting point. But Sawillo is the rune of will. And sometimes we can really be willful in not looking at things and allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed. In fact, we almost wear it like a badge of honor somehow, that we're just so, overwhelmed, and oh my God, we can't get anything done. I've just got so much going on. It's like we talk ourselves into, by the use of our will, or the ego's will, because certainly it's not higher self-informing, but we talk ourselves into being as overwhelmed as possible. And of course, then we get absolutely nothing done. And you know what? We're proud of it, aren't we? Well, that's kind of silly. So Willow allows healing and self-confidence, and it's about victory and strength and success. It's about the link. It's also about the link between light and dark, though, between higher self and ego. And in fact, I don't know if I said this, it's also known as the rune of the higher self. And so clearly, the other thing you can see here is he's looking down. He's not just, having his face covered by all of these staffs or wands. He's actually looking down. And directionality in tarot is an interesting thing. One of the things about the major arcana, you've got you looking straight on at life. And then you've got but then if you were to put the emperor right next to her, you would see him looking at her. So, he's more focused on her than really, and what she's doing, as most men are. Yeah. Well, he was more interested in what she's doing than really what he ought to be doing. But, but the thing about directionality, when you're looking down, or when, like, say, swords are pointing downward or pointing upward, directionality, are they pointing up towards spirit, or are they pointing down toward form or ego? And here, clearly, we can see him looking downwards. So he's not letting spirit inform this whole process, obviously, or he wouldn't be so burdened by all of this. So basically, what we're doing here is Sawillo is saying, hey, wake up. Wake up to the bigger picture, wake up to the fact that, are you allowing your struggles and your challenges to govern you, or are you being in charge of those things? You don't want to let your life control you. You want to be in control of your life and your experiences. And so that's basically what Sawillo's telling this gentleman here to do, is to put this stuff down, pick one, not 10, one. And go from there. Look at it, see what you can do about it. If you can't, put it down, try another, or goodness gracious, just be in the rest of it all, be in the rest position where, this little centerpiece right here, be in the rest between between higher self and ego, where you can just sit there and figure it out. Like I say, like my husband does, let it be for a bit. The answer's going to come. So I guess that's probably, a little bit of an inward focus today. Not a bad thing on a Wednesday. Again, let today be your resting point. If you've got a bunch of burdens that you're thinking about, a bunch of problems you're thinking about, take time out for Wednesday here to just be your day of rest, and to be that resting point where you start weighing things out and really see what it is you need to be focusing on. A lot of these burdens, they're of our own making, aren't they? Sometimes we create the problems that we experience. And so maybe you take a moment to just sit back and rest and come to a still point. Maybe you'll find that most of these burdens, they just fall away naturally. Something to think about for today anyway. Well, thank you so much for watching and for stopping by. Go over to check out the blog, Stepping Aside, at I'mSteppingAside.com. If you're into all things witchy, there's a little bit of cannabis stuff on there. There's some Reiki stuff. There's a grimoire. There's an herbal materia medica, if you're of the herbalist persuasion. There's some recipes for teas and how to make some things on there. So go check it out at I'mSteppingAside.com. And have a lovely day. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Blessed be.